What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know a lot of you guys are really wanting more Civic content, and I'm doing my best to give that to you, but right now I'm waiting on some parts. For those of you that do not know, or for those of you that are new to the channel, I have a 1997 Honda Civic DX Coupe, which is a Y7, a D16 Y7. And over the course of the last year, we have been doing this. So, yeah, we slapped the turbo on our D16 on our single cam, on our stock single cam, and we are on a stock ECU with no tune. And that's why a lot of these videos are appealing to some of you guys, because you either want to do the same thing as me, or you want to see my car blow up. And so far it hasn't blown up. Now, the way that we have tuned this car is we are actually using a Blocks Racing FMU, which is basically an old school way of tuning, and it basically just blocks off your fuel return based off a vacuum. Now, I'm not going to get deep into that because I've got several videos from before explaining that and explaining that versus a tune and whatnot. I figured I'd come back inside because it's a little chilly out there and the lighting is so inconsistent. But anyway, in the last Civic video, we installed a new AEM air fuel gauge. The old one we had, it wasn't working out that well, so we couldn't really see our air fuels. And anyway, once we installed the AEM air fuel, we were able to see that the car was running a tad bit lean. And then once we do a pull, it's running pretty lean. So my FMU is a 12-to-1 ratio FMU. So to my understanding, that is the richest one you can get from Blocks Racing. So I believe at idle it was around like 15, and then when we were just cruising on the street, it got richer down into like the 14s and 13s, and where you want it is 14.7. When you do a pull, you want it to be down around like 11, maybe even 10, and we were at like 17 or 18. So that's not good. If we continue to drive it like that, at some point it's probably going to blow up because there's not enough fuel going into your cylinders to cool down the engine. So anyway, what I want to do today while we're waiting on parts, so let me back up. What we did to solve that problem was I sourced some D16 Y8 injectors, which I believe are like around 250 cc's, and I think these Y7s are around like 180 cc's. So those should put out a little more fuel. I'm curious to see how they're gonna work because I am no expert on any of this stuff. But we're gonna see how those injectors work. Then if that doesn't change much, we're going to upgrade the fuel pump, which I'm probably going to end up doing anyways, whether it works or not. But anyway, I'm waiting on those injectors to show up, but I still wanted to give you guys a video. So what we're gonna do today is I am going to bypass the FMU. I'm gonna return it back to how it would be stock, and I want to see how lean the car is without the FMU and with the FMU. So let's go ahead, let's go start with starting the car. I want to show you guys the numbers of that FMU, and then we'll take it out. So let's go get a nice little cold start. About to just order a jump pack since none of you guys will give me one. So let's take a look at this air fuel. So we're right at, I know it's a little weird because of the frames, but we're right at 16.7. And that is just idling. And that's honestly a cold start, so it should be a little richer right now. Now, I don't want to take a drive right now, but just mark my word that when we go do a pull in this thing, it leans way out to 17, 18, like right where it's at now, when we're doing a pull, which it should go the other way. So I'm gonna let this thing warm up, make sure it goes through its cold start sequence completely, and then we'll take another look at it. All right guys, I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and take a drive. I know you can't see the FM or the wideband, but we're right at 16 right now after the cold start. All right, I don't know if you guys could hear me on the GoPro, but when we do a pull, we're lean. When we're just cruising, we're either perfect or a little rich, which is where I want it. So let's unhook the FMU and start it back up, maybe drive it, see where numbers are. Okay guys, so we got that all bypassed. It's just fuel returning right back to the main OEM line. I'm gonna leave the vacuum line hooked up because I don't see how that would affect anything. It'll still be pulling the same correct amount of vacuum. So let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, so we're around the same now. I feel like it should be around the same while we're driving, or while it's idling, because there's no boost. But I guess let's go ahead and take a short little drive. All right, so conclusion, the FMU works. We driving wise, staying out of boost, it's about the same, which it should be, because your vacuum and everything should be where it's at when you don't have a turbo, you know. So once you do a pull, your FMU is not there to block off your fuel return, so it definitely leaned out. I mean, it shot up like off the gauge. I saw like 21, and then the gauge kind of spazzed out because there was no fuel there to read. Pretty dangerous. Now, one thing is that it drove a whole lot better in the low end, as in with the FMU, it kind of bogs down quite a bit if you don't give it enough RPMs in, like, when you're taking off, like from a standstill and you're clutching out of first to get going, it bogs like crazy. So I don't really know why that is. I don't know if it's giving it too much fuel. If any of you guys know, feel free to comment below and let me and everybody else know. And if you do want to know, look in the comments. Hopefully somebody said something, because there's a lot of you guys that know a lot about this stuff. So anyway, I am very happy with that, because that tells me that my $230 or $200 FMU is actually doing something. Now, it's still lean, but I can tell that it's fighting to stay not lean, to stay rich. So I'm happy with, I'm excited to see what the Y8 injectors do, and then I'll probably go ahead and order a fuel pump as well, but I want to do it in stages, because I want to see what the injectors do, and then I want to see what the addition of a fuel pump does, and see how safe we can get this thing without a tune. Now, I say this in almost every video, if you're wanting to do this, especially on a daily driver, I recommend a tune. This is old school, kind of unnecessary, and we're limited on boost. I'm only running like 5 to less than 10 pounds of boost, but the right way to do this, in my opinion, is to get a chipped ECU or a standalone ECU and get it tuned, because then it's going to be ultimately safe. There's really no questions, as long as your tuner is not an idiot. But I think that we are able to achieve what we want here without having to go through the headache of a tune, because I know a lot of you guys are just wanting to turbo your car. You don't want to have to pay for a tune. You don't have to want to pay for an ECU, pay for a dyno, or find an e-tuner, go back and forth with him. It's a little bit of a hassle, and I understand that. Whole reason I'm doing this. And I hope I can help a lot of you guys see what you can and can't do on your car before it blows up. and at my expense, because if my car blows up, you're not out anything, except you get more content of me probably throwing a K-swap in this thing. But anyway, I'm happy with the test that we just did. I need to go back and put the FMU back in, hook it back in. And hopefully the next video, if I get them, is me installing the injectors, is hopefully next week. So we'll see. If any of you want to see anything, comment down below. If any of you have any advice for me, comment down below. One thing I really want to do, and you may have heard it while we're driving, is I want to replace all the bushings. I want to get a shop press, and I want to buy some energy, I don't know, some bushing kit, and replace every bushing on that thing, and really just go through the suspension. Right now it's got some older max speeding rods, coilovers on there. I would like to get a new set of cheaper coilovers. I'm not gonna go Fortunato on this thing when my Subaru sitting out there really needs a set of nice coilovers. But anyway, that's the test. I hope I was able to show you guys something, show you how the FMU works, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.